Longevity Lifestyle Designers. This is Zach here with secretsoflongevity.com, and today I'm going to make a recipe that's inspired, I guess, in part by Lou, Corona, and Dan, the Life Regenerator. They've done videos in the past where they made what they call a Guerilla milk, which is mixing green juice and some sort of seed milk or nut milk, and making a drink by combining those two. I've been trying it out on and off for the last couple of weeks, just experimenting with different flavors and different combinations, and I found one that's quite tasty, so I'm going to share that with you. It's a little different. I'm going to add some other things to it. It's going to be more like an elixir type of drink, but still combining the green juice and the seed milk. And so with that, we're going to start by making the seed milk, which is going to be hemp milk. And I've got here a base of 2.5 cups of tea made from holy basil, ginkgo biloba, and horsetail. So you can find all those herbs below. I've got links if you're wanting to sample any of them yourself. And with that, we're going to start with the hemp seed. I've got a thing in the freezer here. And hemp seed is a great seed because it doesn't need to be soaked or germinated first. It's really the only two seeds that you can get away with doing that without having any sort of digestive distress, or chia seed and hemp seed. They don't have any enzyme inhibitors on them. Whereas almonds, sesame seeds, pumpkin seeds, virtually every other nut or seed, you need to soak it either overnight or for 8 hours before consuming it or making it into a nut milk or anything like that. So we're just going to put, that's 3, maybe we'll do 4 tablespoons of hemp seed. And then we're going to blend that and strain it. There, it's very finely chopped up. And normally some people don't choose to strain hemp milk. It makes a very fine milk, there's not much left, but I'm wanting to be completely smooth, so I'm going to strain it through a nut milk bag. You can find them at the link below. And it just pops over any other container here very easily. And then you simply just pour it through. Still quite hot, the tea. It's not hot enough that it's cooking the hemp seed, but you can still, perhaps you can see it's steaming a bit there. And take that off. And then it's just a matter of squeezing it to get all the liquid out. And unlike unlike almonds or other nuts or seeds, there's not going to be much left in the bag, but hemp seed does have sort of a bit of a more fibrous part to it when you do blend it, so it still has some of those things that don't get completely chopped up in the blender. And then we're going to make the green juice, and I'm going to combine 2 kinds of sprouts and a little bit of celery and cucumber, not much. And that's going to make a great green juice. So I'm going to show you my little sprouting setup because that's something that I've been building over time, and this might be something you want to do at home, or if you're living in the Guelph area or surrounding area and you want someone to grow some sprouts for you, I can grow you on a regular basis, like 1 or 2 pounds a week, depending on how much you need to go through, or even more if you're wanting to really use a lot of sprouts. I do need to know in advance because it takes up to 10 days to start the cycle and for it to be growing. But if you're wanting them regularly, I can keep that going for you if you want the convenience of picking up your own sprouts directly from me. This is my little setup. Some of you may have seen me doing the sprouting vid in past videos. And that, I did mention in the video that that wasn't my setup, but this is mine here. I was actually at a friend's house that had it going. So one of these lighting fixtures costs around $700, including the lights. So if that's something you're wanting to do, you can check out Lee Valley, which is, I believe it's only in Canada. It might be in the US, but that's where I got this from. And if you're not wanting the work of constantly taking care of these, watering them, and all that, and also buying the fixture, I can grow you sprouts. I mean, I have only one more row that is usually not lit. I can always, these ones aren't ready to have the lights on yet. You can see they're much smaller, but they, I just have them there for convenience, but I have one more row available if I need to grow more sprouts. So this is basically what I'm using my girlfriend and I'm actually juicing for someone right now and delivering them green juice, and that's something else you can get from me if you're interested in having juice delivered to you. So if that's something you're interested in, just message me personally, either about the green juice or the sprouts, and I can let you know about the cost, etc. So to start off with the green juice, I'm going to start putting through pea sprouts and sunflower sprouts. Both complete protein, both very high in protein, and two of my favorite greens, and I consume them every day in large quantities. So we're going to want to make an equal amount of green juice, about 2.5 cups. I'm not going to bore you too much with the juicing everything, I'll just show a little bit here. Just putting it through the Green Star, which is the optimal juicer for juicing, obviously, because it's a slow grind juicer. It's also metal gears, unlike some of the other juicers. It's the one that Hippocrates Health Institute recommends. It's the one that most knowledgeable healthcare practitioners recommend, who recommend a juicing regimen, because it doesn't damage the juice, or it damages the least compared to the other juicers that exist out there. I'm going to put just 1/4 of a cucumber that I have left over from yesterday. That's all I have left. I've ran out of cucumbers. And then a little bit of celery. Because we're not wanting to make a map. I usually drink about 1 liter of green juice every day. I try to. So, usually I do half celery, half cucumber. Half celery and cucumber, half sprouts. But today we're just making a smaller quantity, so it works just having less celery and cucumber. Because the sprouts are really where the magic is. Because they're so high in paramagnetic energy, which literally can be photographed by Kirlian photography, and they're also, because they're so young, they're the highest in nutrition. Like, for instance, consider sunflower sprouts. They are up to 30 times more dense in nutrition than your average vegetable. Sort of conventionally grown vegetable, that is. When you harvest a sprout, you're harvesting it at its peak of its nutrient density. So it produces all these enzymes, minerals, vitamins at such an early stage, and when it grows it's basically just getting bigger, but the nutrient density is getting less and less as it gets bigger. Of course, overall, one sunflower sprout is not going to have as much nutrition as a whole full-grown sunflower, but I'm just going to turn this off for a second. The fact that you're harvesting several thousand sprouts, if it's sunflower, you're actually getting many times the amount of the nutrients, because they're all at that young stage, which is also at their peak nutrition. So we're almost at 2 cups. I'm just going to go to 2.5, and then we'll be mixing these together. So there we have it. We've got 2.5 cups of green juice, and we're going to put it through the strainer I have here. Just because I don't like the grit that this juicer seems to leave behind. Actually, pretty much all the juicers leave a little bit of grit in the juice, so most people like to put it through a strainer or a nut milk bag or something. From my experience, virtually all of their juicers actually create more than the Green Star. And you can drink it straight from the juicer if you want, but you're getting sort of like a little bit of very tiny fibers in it, and this just helps take out the foam and some of the largest fibers that get left behind. So what we're going to do next is mix the hemp milk right into the green juice. You can see the color change down here. It becomes sort of like a lime green color, which is quite nice looking. Then I'm going to add some other things to give it a nice flavor and other properties. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to add a tablespoon of slippery almond bark, which creates some soluble fiber, which will thicken this drink up, making it much more of sort of an elixir type drink, which is quite fun because it'll slow the absorption down, creating more of a longer lasting nutritional component, which will be more satisfying. It's not going to be such a rush of nutrients. Then we're going to add about half a teaspoon to a teaspoon each of Mucuna and Wushu, 2 herbs I love. You can get them from Hyperion Herbs at the links below. All these things I'm using, except for the green juice, you can get at the link below. And actually the other thing you can't get is the essential oil I'll be adding, but this is the Hoshu, a very high in mineral and copper herb. Wonderful for returning your hair back to its original color if you are experiencing some premature graying of your hair. Next is Spearmint essential oil, which got to be very careful not to add too much of this one, but 2 drops. There was 2 drops. So that's going to make this whole drink taste amazing, and it goes well with the color. Then a little bit of stevia. I'm actually doing a no sugar thing. Just started today. I'm going to be doing it for as long as I can. Actually not as long as I can. Maybe up to a month. I'm not going to do it for the full, try for the full 6 months like I did last spring, which I only got about 2 months into it. Might need to add a little more than that, but we're going to try this first. And that no sugar idea, I'm going to be cutting out all fruit, honey, maple syrup. I just ran out of all of that almost all at the same time, so it was perfect for me to start this. But the idea behind that is I'm just preparing my body for something that is very exciting coming up. I'll share more about it once I've got the plans all worked out. So we're just going to lightly blend this to mix it all together. I don't want to be damaging the green juice too much because it's a very delicate liquid. So we'll just give this a little taste to see if it satisfies my palate. Might have to add a little bit more stevia. Yeah, I'm going to add a little bit more stevia. It's not very sweet at all. This is just a fun way of taking green juice because, you know, drinking the exact same green juice almost every day can be a bit boring after a while. So this is a fun way to take in the greens, take in the nuts and seeds. One thing I might recommend is letting the tea cool down completely if you're wanting it to be a cold drink, but this is a little bit warm, which is fine. Probably offsets the cooling properties of spearmint, and we're into some colder weather, so that's kind of nice having it a little bit warm. That's perfect. So check out the links below for any of the ingredients I use that you're interested in sampling yourself, and embrace life without limits.